Okay, yeah, sure, works.
Hello and welcome back to Journey to Harmony. My name is Wes, and I'm happy today to bring you Benjamin Neal. Benjamin is uh, a serious inspiration to me. He is a young man who is focused and determined and knows exactly what he's looking for in life. At an early age, he's already played high school football. He's played college football. He's been a coach, and now he's also a coach for a local high school in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Benjamin also is a junior project manager, and just talking to us a little bit about what is it that he has been through, what is his process, and what is he's hoping to accomplish in the future. So, Ben, welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit more about what is it that you're doing, just kind of on a daily basis.
Well, I appreciate the intro. I'm actually just trying to be like you when I grow up. I can say literally everything you just said about me, I can say about you. So this is a great friendship that we've had. I really think that. Uh, Man, my day to day, I like to wake up, make two hard boiled eggs, crack them open, cut them in half, salt, pepper, house them, get a glass of water, get to work. I work right where I'm sitting. After that, I love football. I mean, I love it, and it's such a great allegory for life. And we can talk about the leadership aspects that I've gained from it. Uh, the chance to be a leader.
Mhm.
That is such an underrated thing in this world.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. So let's just tell us a little bit about yourself. So, like, your story, I love. You know, what I mean, like, you guys are start off from high school, like, you know, what I mean, like, you're in high school, you're playing
Yeah,
football, yeah.
I got you. Yeah. My senior year, it was my second year being an all-state linebacker, first year being an all-state offensive lineman. Was nowhere near the best player on my team. Had some dudes around me, but I took upon myself that I had to be the smartest guy in the room and I had to be the best leader in the room.
Mhm.
And whether that was simply saying no sad faces, that's a big one for me, or let's go into the murky waters and drown people. Like you can get both, you can go both spectrums a little bit with it.
Yeah,
You got to bring some salt to your life a little bit. You got to be a little bit. If you're not angry about what you're doing, you don't have any passion for it.
yeah,
And angry might even be the word.
yeah.
But if you're not wanting to be excel at something, you shouldn't even do it. I got recruited a couple schools, decided on Artisan Broadus. It's this little tiny school tucked in the Appalachian Mountains of Philippi, West Virginia,
Mhm.
uh, where the battlers, if you know about the Civil War, first battle happened in Philippi. The Union Regiment in Philippi were the battlers. So that's where we got our name. We shoot off a
Okay.
cannon and everything. Ton of fun. Played a couple years, saw some playing time, not anything too heavy. Well,
Mhm.
being a young guy, torn my patellar tendon sophomore year. Uh, Decided walking was pretty cool after that. Got into coaching, and it's been all what you said from there. Fairmont
Yeah.
State, Northport, Florida. Now I'm at Greenbrier East, and I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at. I've had a great time.
That's what's up, man. How,
Yeah,
how is what was the process like? So, like, I know for so many young people out there, right? Like, whether they're in high school, they're listening to this, or they're 24, 25 years old. Every person, for the most part, has to come to that day where you no longer play sports. What was that like for
yeah.
you? Like, how'd you go from playing, you know, what I mean, playing football your entire
Yeah.
life to transitioning, saying, you know what, I'm going to coach now.
Well, whenever you really love something, you'll find a way to be around it.
Uh-huh.
So whether you like playing chess or you like playing football, you're going to find a way to do both of those things.
Hmm.
And for me, it was a natural fit. I was already a smart guy. I loved scheme. I loved hearing guys like Romo talk. I would
Hmm.
read books from guys like Denny Crehan, fellow
Hmm.
AB grad, Don Shula.
Hmm.
He has his book. Don Shula has this book called The Football Bible. And it was meant to be like this story of him, and he ended up just writing about like cover two. He didn't realize what it was supposed to be. So it's like this. It has a lot of great leadership qualities. If you haven't read The Art of War,
Yeah.
read that.
Hmm.
Uh, so to get into a really great position like I've been blessed to be in has
Hmm.
nothing to do with education or level of where you're at or anything. You have to build interpersonal relationships. That's it. That's it. That's all I've been good at. Education, I'm not doing anything in my field of education. I'm not any of that.
So
Interpersonal
you go
relationships
from
is where you start.
being a football player to now you're a coach. What was that process like for you?
Man, do you want the story? Is that
Yeah,
what you
like
want?
that. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're here. We got
Man,
time.
so I was back here in good old White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, little town, southern West Virginia, and it was Christmas break, and I was going trout fishing at like 5 o'clock in the morning. and I get a call from a guy named Theo Brown.
Hmm.
Theo's a great human. He's at Findlay right now, coaching running backs, Findlay College. He goes, "Hey man, I know you're not playing football anymore. We had a brand new coaching staff coming in. Do you want to coach?" Yeah, whatever. And I had to stop fishing and drive up there immediately. Like my social life ended right that second. I didn't realize it, but that was cool. I love it.
Hmm.
And I got up there, and my original job was to sit down, shut up, and go get papers from the printer, make my coffee. If he said tie his shoes, I had to tie his shoes, man. That's just what you got to do. You got to do. But I
Hey.
loved it, and I embraced it heavily.
Hmm.
And once a guy learns to trust you, he will give you more important roles.
Yeah.
And at 21, I was the offensive line coach of a Division two football team,
Wow.
maybe the youngest in the country. Like
Yeah.
seriously.
Hmm.
And I ended up uh, graduating, and I found a job at Fairmont State. I was coaching running backs, cutting up huddle film, getting pizza for the staff. Like that was my job. It was
Yeah.
an easy life. It's a good
Mhm.
life. Uh, yeah. So the process was literally a phone call at 5 o'clock in the morning because I knew somebody because I
Wow.
developed interpersonal relationships.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How is that like? So you go from playing football to now all of a sudden you're a coach in Division II in Florida, Fairmount State, correct? Um,
Fairmont State's here in West Virginia.
okay, Fairmount State here in West
Yeah.
Virginia. So you're a coach here at Fairmount State, and then what happens?
So just back to interpersonal relationships, right? The guy's name was Garen Belzer in Northport, Florida.
Hmm.
He was the tight ends coach at Alderson Broaddus, who had came from Fairmont State.
Hmm.
So we just swapped jobs, kind of, and like, we got to know each other really well in the year I worked with him, and we talked about it, like, hey, we should coach together if we ever get the chance. Let's get after it. And he just called me one day, said, "Hey, I have an offensive coordinator, quarterback's job. I want you to have it." I said,
Wow.
"I'd love to have it." And I moved down to Florida, and I still be there. A little hurricane ran me out. Uh, I think that I think it's going to work out for the better for me, though.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's all interpersonal relationships. I got
Hmm.
my Fairmont State job because I worked with a guy at AB named Josh Alanskis. He was the tight ends coach at Fairmont,
Yeah.
and he told the head coach, "Hey, I know a guy." Called me. I said, "I'd love to have it."
Wow.
Yeah, build interpersonal relationships.
Definitely.
Do it.
So you've been talking a lot about interpersonal relationships. Like, what is that? Where'd you learn that from? Where have
Oh,
you? Yeah, go ahead.
I love this. So, my main role model in my life is my dad. My father's
Mm-hmm.
a great human,
Mm-hmm.
and he has this idea. He's a prison warden. He has this idea. If we all know something about each other, okay, whether it's your mother's name, shoe size, something,
Mm-hmm.
it will develop a relationship to where you actually care about each other.
Yeah.
And when you care about each other, you're willing to do things for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And people that care about each other are a good team.
Yeah.
So he just developed relationship after relationship after relationship with everybody he's ever met. And I just picked it up from him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think right now, like you said, like it's been a bit of a hindrance. You learn so much about social media and the personal
Yeah.
cell phone. It is kind of it's kind of devalued the personal relationship. I think what has happened though, people who have learned to leverage this have been able to scale even faster than what they would have been in the past.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. A lot of people, with the advances of technology, a lot of people are using it for purposes that are not really overall helping them in their environment. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. We I'm 23, a little background there. And my peers don't talk to each other.
Wow.
We don't speak to each other.
Hmm.
And it's a really bizarre thing because I'm a very outgoing guy. I love talking to people, and
Hmm.
meeting new people is my favorite thing. And I see a lot of my friends struggle with social settings. And I really do think that in the long run, if they can't talk to people, it's going to end up hurting, their wallet,
Yeah.
their relationships with girlfriends or husbands, wives, whatever. And it's a thing we need to figure out. We need to talk
Definitely.
to each other. Yeah.
Definitely. So from there, right? You're in Florida. What makes you could leave Florida after that time? Like it's.
Yeah. So the hurricane that just happened this
Mhm.
past year,
Oh wow.
I was living in a cool little spot,
Mhm.
and hurricane saw it coming. I said, Dad, I'm going to leave here before this hurricane shows up. He goes, okay. He said, you should bring everything you own.
Wow.
I said, really? I should bring everything? Everything is, yeah, bring everything you got. And most of it was already in the car, anyways. And I came up here, and then I got the call that where I live was gone.
Hmm.
So I just stayed here. And it's
Yeah.
been fantastic. I'm glad I did.
Yeah, definitely.
Very fortunate. Very fortunate.
No, it's definitely a blessing, like you said. I think a lot right now, especially for younger people right now, it's important to be strategic. And young,
Mhm.
in past years, people would say to you, they're like, you know what, you need to get out and be out on your own. But the cost of living has gone so
Yeah.
crazy that right now it's irresponsible almost if you're out on your own and you don't make $150,000. Like it's like, yeah, right now
Yeah.
is the time for community. Even if you're living with someone, you need to be living with two or three people and splitting that amount down to be able to cut down on your expenses.
Or you have to be real with yourself and live in a situation like I live in a really nice one bedroom apartment, I'll admit,
Mhm.
but it's kind of small. It's a little cramped sometimes. You kind of feel it. Uh, but I want to live alone. That's the
Yeah.
luxury.
Uh,
If I want to buy a home right now, man, I mean,
mhm.
I'd split mortgage with everybody I've ever met.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it is, and it goes back to have you developed the correct interpersonal skills to advance, to get more money, to get promotion, because the people around you have to like you.
Hmm.
They don't have to be your friend, but they have to like you.
Yeah.